I moved to Dubai about 4 months ago now from the UK, and in this video I'm going to be just going through the pros, the cons about living in Dubai, how it compares to the UK, and also whether you should take that leap and move from your hometown or home country and move abroad. So about 4 months ago, I used to live in Manchester in the UK. Had an apartment there in basically the best building in Manchester. Lived there for over a year. I moved in December 2023. Before that, I actually didn't necessarily live anywhere. I just floated about. So I spent about 4 months in Marbella the summer before that. Before that, I spent about 5 months in Dubai. So I thought I was ready to move there then, but in reality, I wasn't ready to move there then. Spent the summer in Marbella. One thing I would say about not having a base is, personally, I know a lot of people do love to float about Thailand, Bali, blah, 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 blah. Personally, if you want to scale and if you really want to lock in, I think it's the worst thing to travel about Airbnb after Airbnb. I mean, when I got here, obviously I had an Airbnb for about 2 weeks. Literally went to view apartments, second, third day here, viewed one I liked, put the deposit down and moved in literally within 10 days. I'm completely not against moving, but I completely detest moving. It's super long, you have so much shit to move, so I just like to be based up in a specific place, wherever that is. So how does actually Dubai compare to the UK? So number one, probably the biggest reason why everyone moves here is tax reasons. So in the UK, obviously, you've got a UK company, 20-something% tax. You've got your personal tax, which goes up to 45% over 150k a year, etc, etc. So tax obviously is a big reason here. It's about 9% on corporation tax, and personal is 0%. So basically you pay about 9% depending on your setup, depending where your agency is set up, etc, etc, etc. So obviously everyone moves because of tax, but again, that's not really the main thing. The main thing realistically is the fact that when you're in the UK or wherever you're from, for example, Germany, Italy, I mean, I'm half Italian, Spain, etc, etc, all these kind of places in Europe, one of the main things is that the people that you are around, like for example in the UK, you're around a lot of the same kind of people. And what I mean by that is the ceiling in specific places like Manchester, some places in London, etc, the ceiling isn't as high as it is in other places of the world like Marbella, Dubai, just places where there's so much money around you everywhere you go, where it's not even about motivation, where you see what's more possible. And the more you see, like for example this car, that car, etc, 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 the more you start to believe it's real, and the more you start to think, oh shit, I'm not actually that big, or oh shit, there's actually so much more for me to do. And in Manchester in the UK, I mean, I can pop up a picture, a few videos even on this video, had a McLaren 720S, got it wrapped, got a full carbon body kit on it, best car in the city, I'd say best spec 720S in the fucking country basically. And obviously, like, buying material things, everyone like starts business, starts their entrepreneurial journey, starts whatever business it is, it doesn't actually matter, starts making money, and the first thing they obviously want to do is buy a watch, buy a car, move into their dream apartment. I mean, basically everything I put on my vision board. So I mean, at 16, another little background on me, at 16 I was trading Forex, pursued that, dropped out of school at 16 to do Forex full time. I was reselling sneakers at the time, making good money from that, about 5-ish K a month from reselling sneakers, which at 16 was fucking amazing. And then lost 3 years basically of my life with Forex, didn't make any money, net down all time from trading. But back then I literally wrote out a vision board on Google Docs, and it's funny because about last week I just went to review that vision board, see okay what's ticked off, and funny enough, every single thing that I put down at 16, 5 years later, I achieved it all. So I had a supercar, a watch, like an apartment, like a high-rise apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows, etc, 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 like where I wanted to live, etc, etc, and everything I wrote out, like how much I wanted to make, etc. I completed it at 21, and then I bought the car, had my fun with the car, and then like towards like mid 2024 I was like, what the fuck else is there for me to do? I have basically everything, and came to the realization that all the the thing is, the only reason I can speak from this is from actually doing it, but the material things, the cars, the watches, the fucking holidays, doing all of this shit doesn't really the anticipation of it, yes, is extremely good. Like working towards a goal, achieving that goal, like picking up supercar, probably like one of the best days of my life. But once you've done it, and then once it's settled in, like it's consolidated in your brain, like 1 to 4 weeks of like you just got your supercar going about. I mean, I filled up petrol 6 times within the first week. It was fucking ridiculous. Once you realize, oh, like this is it, then the fun and the like wow factor does wear off, and then you just like, oh, it's just the car at the end of the day. Like, yes, it's more fun than a regular car, but it's just the car, like literally that. And once you come to that realization, once I came to that realization, I just realized that what the fuck have I not been working towards, but like doing this all for material things doesn't make you not necessarily happy, but they're just like, they don't fulfill you to what like really working towards a goal, really working to something big actually does. And obviously, like, the only reason I can say this is because I've actually done it. Like, a lot of people can obviously talk about how material things aren't everything, etc, etc, but deep down, until you bought a watch, your dream car, your dream apartment, your dream like girl, life, whatever the fuck it is, until you've actually got it, some part in you will always crave it. And until you kind of feed that, until you give that fulfillment to that part, you'll never be able to live without like at least experiencing it. So you have to go through that phase. You can't skip that phase. You can't skip that. Like, you can't just save your way to being rich, essentially. You have to go through that phase. And once you've gone through that phase, you either keep going down that phase, keep going down that phase, keep going down that phase, or you realize, okay, this isn't everything. What do I enjoy more? And coming here, it really actually tied well into where I was at in terms of in business and life in the UK. Coming here, the pivot of basically realizing that, okay, being like having the supercar, having everything, like not having, obviously there's obviously stupid rich people in every city, but not seeing it every day, yes, that's nice. And then coming here to like, okay, I've got so much more work to do, like this is just the start, like this is nothing basically. And coming to that realization, kind of basically being humbled and letting my ego basically go down, has been probably the best thing ever. Because since moving here now in like October, the amount of work, the amount of efficiency, the amount of everything that's been getting done, the way I am mentally within the business, within everything that I'm doing, is at a 5x pace, at a 5x better level. My thoughts are clearer, the decisions, the problems I'm solving are much clearer and are much better decisions. And that is all a byproduct of the environment you're in, number one. Because like at the end of the day, one of the biggest, let's say, downsides of living in like your hometown is that you're still around the same kind of people that, let's say, you grew up with or that you see on a day-to-day basis. And the problem with that is that you're still in that kind of small, how do I say, that small mindset basically, where you're not around people that are doing 10x better than you, 5x better than you, that are doing insane numbers with whatever business they're doing, and around the kind of, it's not even about money, just being around better operators and people that are just more levels ahead of the game than you. And because you're not around that, you're less kind of pissed off, you're less prone to like, fuck, I need to do something now. You get into this kind of chill, not mindset, but just like, you just kind of take your foot a little bit off the gas, because it's like, oh, I'm making X amount a month. Even if I make more, everything I can afford, everything is basically free in my life. Like, I can make an extra 10, 20k a month more. It's not actually going to change anything in my day-to-day life. It's not going to change anything like at all where I am. And that is a big thing that affected me, affected a lot of close friends of mine, where any more money you make, you're like, oh, but it's not going to affect anything. It's not going to really change anything in my day-to-day life. I'm not going to be able to buy anything else more. like you just come into this, I don't know, this bubble where you're like, oh, like what the fuck am I basically doing? And coming here really kind of opened my mind, because I came here now in 2022, lived with a close friend of mine in an apartment, and we still saw it back then. But the main difference from 2 years ago now, 3 years ago, sorry, to now, is that I didn't have the vehicle or the method to kind of scale, to take in new information, to take in new environments and put piece by piece together, solve that problem step by step, set it up and actually make that a reality. And I had that disconnect because I was always working hard, always trying everything, but basically that little disconnect meant that I was like, okay, I'm not ready for this now. I'll leave this off for a few years, build everything up, build my level of operations up, level of thinking up, and then now it's so clear why, for example, a few years ago now, I was stuck at a certain income level, stuck at a certain mindset. It is just because of the day-to-day actions. And tying that back to here, that is one of the main reasons as a pro to moving to Dubai. If you're still in whatever hometown and you feel like you're in a ceiling or a bubble, or like you want to break out of whatever you're making, whatever number a month, it's obviously respective to what you're earning now, you have to get in a new environment. And you might not, like, it's not necessarily like you just go for a week and like the instant motivation. It's not the motivation, because motivation in all honesty is bullshit. It's if you get in a new environment, you start thinking different, you start thinking clearer, you start making better decisions. And then again, like, nothing good in life comes fast and nothing good in life comes easy. It takes time, it takes consistency, it takes constant reiterations, constant effort, till you finally see the byproduct of that result, or sorry, of that effort. And once you, over time, the more clear you think, the more clear your decisions are, the better your decisions are. Over time, these little stacking up of just from thinking clearer, acting clearer, making better decisions, you just win. Like, you just scale, everything starts to fall right, you start to get what you've always, like the dreams you have, etc. Everything starts to fall into place. And it is really just a byproduct of your thoughts. At the end of the day, like, whatever business you're in, if you're the owner or the founder or the CEO, whatever you want to call yourself, you're paid on your thoughts. Your team is the action that makes the thoughts into reality, and obviously your full responsibility is how good is your team, how good do they operate. But at the end of the day, you're the person who calls the shots, you're the person who calls the ideas, says let's try this, thinks has to outweigh the opportunity cost of, does this decision make sense with the business, make sense with our goals, make sense with our vision? And if you make the wrong decision, everyone else is affected from that. The scale of the company, the operations, etc, 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 everything else takes a hit if you make the wrong decision. So your goal is, how can I make the right decisions every single time? And that's impossible. You're always going to make wrong decisions. You make mistakes every fucking day. As long as you learn from the mistake and use it as a lesson, like in this journey, the amount of lessons and things that I've done wrong, I've learned every single time from them. Maybe not in the moment, maybe not in that same month, maybe not even that same year. I can look back at old years of mine of things that I've done wrong and how I should have approached situations and things better. But once you learn from that mistake and you know not to make it again, you grow and you get to that next level. And all it is just unlocking the next level, the next level, the next level. And if you do that, and if you do that with consistency, that's when you slowly start to increase your level of thinking and your level of operating. And again, it all ties back to, when you are in the same environment and you are just around the same shit, it's so easy just to be comfortable and just accept that that is your reality and you can't do anything about it. But when you actually like come to somewhere different, like a new environment, that's when you start to see that, look, this is nothing. What I'm doing now is nothing, and I've got so much further to go. The other thing I would say is that because everyone on social media loves to make it look like Dubai is some, well, I mean, it is to some degree, some flashy place, blah, 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 supercars, all this every single day. To some degree it is, but in reality, everyone who comes here is obviously on holiday. So when they're on holiday, they are doing what you do on holiday. Like, you'll get a rental every day on holiday, you do whatever, go beach clubs, all these little things, because you're on holiday. When you actually live here, it's honestly just super chill. Like, I get more enjoyment now into just sticking to my routine, sticking to my diet, going to gym 5-6 times a week, training, like just sticking to my routine, working. I wake up every day happy to work, enjoying the work that I'm doing, being fulfilled with the work I'm doing. I'm not doing mundane tasks, I'm doing high level tasks within my business. And like that feeling, plus with obviously I'll go into the other sides, but just having that routine in somewhere that isn't a shithole or isn't cold all the time, you're around the wrong environment, just having a good routine here just just is better than anywhere else, because you 5 days a week you work, you lock in Monday to Friday, you wake up, get to work, whatever you need to do, whatever you're actually doing. Weekends, you still obviously work, but things are always slower on the weekends. Guys who say they work 7 days a week, blah, 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 I felt like it's just bullshit cope to tell you that, okay, you need to work hard. Yes, it depends what stage you are at. But at a lot of people's stages, what you need to do is actually just think clearer. The clearer you think, the better the work you're actually gonna do. And organizing your week, being methodical with your approach to everything is going to get a lot better than working 15-16 hour days. And the beauty is that you can work all week, then on the weekend you can literally say fuck it, get a car, get a whatever, like this is a rental, a Rolls Royce rental, anything you want, go to a beach club, go to a restaurant, whatever the fuck you want. And having that balance is so good, because again, like back to the UK, the only places I'll go to, the same places, Dakota, Ivy Asia, fucking Monkey House, all these same places, and there's like 3-4 spots in Manny, and the guys who are in Manny know, like once you've rinsed them out, it just gets fucking dead, and then the only thing you can basically do to have fun is just drink. So that's probably the best thing about here, is that you can have that balance of locking in and then enjoying what you're actually working hard for. The other thing is obviously the weather. Now you can probably see, I don't know if it will show the best here, but the weather here, I mean now it's February, so it was actually good like a week ago. This week's been pretty cold, but the weather here is obviously just better, like literally until like June every year it's sweet. May gets a bit too hot, June gets really hot, and then July, August is fucked. But most of the year round, like 8 months of the year, best place for weather. Where else are you going to get that unless you obviously move somewhere in America, or even, I mean, Marbella is hot, but not this hot like throughout all year round. So the weather is a big thing, because waking up when it's raining and it's cold, it does just affect your mood just a little bit. Obviously, like it shouldn't, but you just want to get more done when the weather is good, when you can go out for a walk. I really like, I have walks about every single day. I have about an hour walk. I walk down the canal where I live, get a lovely view of the city, of the canal. I read on my walks usually, and sometimes I just, no music, nothing, just to think and process everything clearly. And that is really the best thing, like altogether, is that wherever you are, as long as you're able to have clear thoughts, and this doesn't matter actually where you live, it just matters how you set your life up. As long as you're able to just have clear thoughts and have the right and take the right action on those thoughts, you are just going to get ahead of everyone else. Because at the end of the day, the people making the most money are not geniuses. They're like, a lot of people, like me and my friends say this all the time whenever we meet someone who's, I don't know, making like stupid money a month, 300, 400, 500 plus K a month, we always say, bro, he's not special. And like, not in a bad way, not in a rude way, just like, it's very, very attainable. And one of the things that I've noticed, that most people, what are they actually doing different? Why are they doing so much more in terms of results? Is they are literally just doing the basics better than you. Doing the basics better than you in OFM, for example, is signing better models, driving more traffic, and doing it at scale better than you. So if you crack down those 3 problems, that's not being, oh, I need to try this, I need to try this with dating apps, with I need to try this new strategy method on Instagram Reels, on Twitter, on Reddit. What's the new strategy? What's the new group I can join to get this new strategy? All of that is fucking bullshit. Like no new strategy is going to solve your problem. Your problem is that you can't scale your current creators. You have maybe one to 3 or 4 models, and because you're doing all the work, because you're doing all the reels, sending all the examples, etc, 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 you can't get out of that. Because if you, let me see, this is what fuck. All right, we're back. You can't get out of that, because if you stop doing that, or you hire for that, you hire someone and they're shit, and then you have no solution for that, and you say, fuck it, I'll just do it myself. So you're always gonna be in this ceiling, basically. And until you realize what are the basic things I need to make, what are the basic decisions I need to make, then you will finally start to scale and finally start to see things in a much clearer light and start achieving what it is you actually want to achieve. Yeah, like at the end of the day, right now, you're probably stuck in a multiple situations. Sorry, you're probably like everything that like your goals, etc, etc, there's probably a lot of bottlenecks and constraints as to why you're not hitting it. And simply all you have to do is sit down, break down your goals one by one, break down why aren't you able to hit it, what is the true reason. And it's always a simple solution, by the way. Every problem you have always comes to a simple solution. A simple solution doesn't mean it's an easy solution, don't get me wrong. It means you're going to have to put a lot of work into solving that solution, but there's no such thing as a complex solution. Every solution is actually simple. It might be complex to solve it, but the actual solution is basic and simple. If you need to get more results, you get more clients, you provide a better service, and you do it at scale. 3 simple things. In reality, it's obviously a lot fucking harder. So if right now you're obviously wherever, like let's say you're stuck in your hometown, you're not making the money that you want to be making, and you're kind of in this, I don't know, this little boat where you're making maybe the same or more than people around you, but you're still not at where you want to be. Just break down your environment, break down as to why you're in this scenario you're in now, what things you could have done better, how you can operate better, literally copy paste what people ahead of you are actually doing. Are they working 18+ hours a day? Probably not. Are they doing all the things that you're doing, the day-to-day tasks? Probably not. What does that mean? So you have to break that down step by step. And as you break that down, you'll slowly start to see that what you're probably working so hard on is complete bullshit, and you have a whole paradigm shift of, fuck, I've got so much work to do, and I've got so much more important work to do than what I'm actively doing. One sec before I fucking crash. As well, Rolls Royces are pretty fucking nippy. I was surprised. I used to hate on these cars so much because I thought that they were just slow boats, but actually is pretty fast. Anyway, yeah boys, yeah, I think that's it in terms of today's video. Did cover a lot. So yeah, again, if you guys enjoy this style of content where it's just raw, me talking to the camera, then let me know any thoughts, any feedback in the comments. I've got a bunch of more videos, bunch of more vlogs coming. I've got a vlog literally I'm filming right now, so I'll keep you guys posted on when I upload them. But yeah, it's your boy Luca. Hope you boys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.